Hey y'all, I'm back here again. Today is day 14, January 30th. Yesterday I had my egg retrieval, and I must say, you guys, I probably was a little disillusioned, but I ended up being disappointed. We did retrieve 7 eggs, and from what I hear, that's great. I just was expecting more. To say that I had 20 follicles on the right side with 10 or measured at 10 or above, and about 17 or 18 on the left side. A total of approximately 20 eggs that were, maybe that's exaggerating, approximately 15 eggs that were above 15 or between 15 and 20. And it only retrieved 7 eggs. The reason this bothers me is because I know that not all eggs will fertilize. I know that even if they do fertilize, not all of them will make it to day 5. So between losing some and not all of them fertilizing, my hope was that I had at least 4 embryos by day 5. Just so he can insert 2 this time, just so he can insert 2 this go round. And since we paid for 1 cycle plus another frozen transfer, I wanted to actually have something to defrost and transfer. I'm trying to remain hopeful, but the issue then becomes, okay, each day I went to that clinic and they did my ultrasound. I asked them about the thickening of my uterine lining. I inquired about it with each nurse. And each nurse, one of them told me, oh, that's not until egg transfer, so don't worry about it. So, yeah, I just took my pain pill because I was cramping pretty bad. But anyway, so then I show up Friday. They tell me, go ahead and do your trigger shot. And your appointment will be 6:30, 7:30. But you have to arrive at the clinic 6:30 Sunday morning. So I'm all happy and anxious. I'm spreading the word locally to my immediate family and close friends. Only for when I show up at the hospital that morning, the doctor tells me, oh, your uterine lining is not where it needs to be. So if y'all buy into my suggestion, which is to freeze the embryos, and then he put me on medication. Oh, because by the way, so I won't be able to do a fresh transfer. I have to do a frozen transfer because I believe, and I think that he believes, my ovaries are overstimulated. Of course they are. Damn near 40 eggs, or 40 follicles, or 40 potential eggs, and only retrieving 7. I don't know. That just bothers me. It bothers me. So now the plan is, I left the hospital yesterday morning with 2 prescriptions to decrease my ovaries because they're overstimulated. As far as my trigger shot, the trigger shot that I took Friday was diluted by 3 millimeters of water. To me, hey, maybe that was a lie, because I was under the impression that the trigger shot helped the eggs release from the follicle wall. Well, if mine is diluted 3 times, who knows? Let me stop pointing the finger. Let me stop blaming. I do feel like all of this plays a factor. And when I asked the nurse how come I had to take 3,300 as opposed to the 5,000 and the 10,000, she said, to prevent overstimulating your ovaries. Only for me to leave the hospital with a prescription to decrease my ovaries because they're already overstimulated. So I guess it happens. But that's not the reason he quoted that we can't do the fresh transfer. The reason he quoted that we can't do the fresh transfer is because my uterine lining is too thin. It's at a 6.6. He prefers it to be at an 8 or above. So the plan is for me to take this medicine for 2 weeks to shrink my ovaries. After that, put me back on birth control so that then I can start taking a Lupron. I think that's what it is. Y'all, and I've been hearing people talk about the Lupron. I never knew what that was because I never had to take it. Only for me now to have to take it. It seems as if I missed a step because I hear most people taking it before. Anyway, either way, medication to minimize my ovaries, birth control to control ovulation again, and Lupron to thicken the lining of my uterus. Once all of those things are done, we can implant, hopefully, babies. I will keep my fingers crossed. Of the 7 eggs that they retrieved yesterday, so far today, 2 of them have fertilized. Not quite sure what they're doing with the other 5. She told me she would have an update for me tomorrow. And yeah, and that's the thing too. I don't know, when he says 7 eggs, I'm not quite sure if that means that's 7 mature eggs and he actually retrieved more but didn't count those, or if all I had was 7 eggs. Who knows? And people are saying all it takes is 1. They're really trying. Folks are really, really trying to keep me encouraged and keep me hopeful. It's just a little hard. And it's a little hard because I think it's because of my size that the doctor felt like, because if you've been following me, I told you, my very first ultrasound there, without taking any hormone, any birth control, anything, there was 15 follicles on one side, 11 on the other. Once you go to adding up all this medication and me taking these shots and everything, I was very happy once I finally saw the follicle number increase, only for there to be just 7 eggs. I was always afraid to mess with hormonal things because I didn't want anything to mess up my natural body thing. I already was overweight. I've been overweight my whole life, and I didn't want anything to mess up my natural hormones that I had going on. But because I was the weight I am, he pretty much ordered me double medication. I still have not lots, but I definitely still have follicle left, and I have Menopur left after me messing up a dose of Menopur. The bottom line is, I think because he figured out how big I was, or I was obese, that I would need double the medication. He started me off with double the medication for the first 4 days, and the next 6 to 7 days was spent with me continuously decreasing the medication because my ovaries were overstimulated. And I feel like because my ovaries were overstimulated going into the trigger shot, he diluted it with 3 millimeters of water. Maybe that diluting is the reason why they didn't detach from the follicle wall like they were supposed to. I don't know. I'm just disappointed, and I will be so much less disappointed once we've reached day 3 and day 5, and I know that I have at least 4 embryos. 2 for me, the first cycle, 2 for the second cycle would be great, because this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I would hate for it to just kind of go down the drain. I need something good to come from it. Something good to come from it. So that is my day 14 update. Egg retrieval yesterday, retrieved 7 eggs. Egg retrieval yesterday, Sunday, January 29th. Retrieved 7 eggs. Monday, January 30th, 2 of the eggs officially fertilized. We're waiting on an update for the rest. Okay, y'all. That's it. Wish me luck. Pray for me. I'll be praying myself.